Hi everyone, I'm going to do a lovely bold loose painterly sunset over the water now. I have got a round number 10, a round number 6 and a number 2 rigger, a small piece of Saunders Waterford 5 by 7 inches and my trusty Cotman palette that I'll link in the description. I've also got a 5p piece which I will use with a bit of kitchen towel to lift out a nice sun. So I'm coming on with a bit of water first in my round number 10. And I'm going to go about halfway. Make sure you've got a nice even coat of water, no puddles, no dry bits. And I'm going to come on with a little bit of cadmium yellow. That's my first colour coming in. Can you see how I'm pushing down in a circular motion? So I'm getting a really nice cloudy effect. I've rinsed that off, I've dabbed it off because I don't want too much water. I want this nice and bold. This is a little bit of permanent rose coming in. So this is going to blend through. It's going to make peachy tones in places. Nice circular motion again. So I'm getting a really lovely effect. I'm going to come into some cerulean blue. So this is my lightest blue in this palette. So it's the one I'm using, but use whatever you have. Just be careful that you don't blend the blue and yellow together because you will make green. You can just come pretty much up to the edge. Going to dip back into the rose. Nice bit of bold rose mixing with that blue. We're getting those purple tones as well. If I take my piece of kitchen towel and I wrap it around my 5p piece, I can choose where I'm going to place my sun. I'm going to go here. Dab it down, lift off. So I've got a really nice sun shape. I'm going to come down to my number 6 now, come back into the rose and strengthen some of this up. So smaller brush, more in control. I'm going to come either side and take in nice thick paint and move it around the wet. I'm going to keep the tone, so the pink within the purple, the rose within the purple and rose colours, not blending too much over. It works best, the painterly effect, if you keep the same colours over one another. Then I'm going to, this is still quite wet, so I'm able to take these colours on. Sometimes I take marks on dry onto the sky, sometimes I make it more painterly on wet. So this time I'm leaving these marks on the wet and making them nice and thick. Okay, I'm going to pop in, if I take a little bit of burnt umber, just a little bit of some sort of land, just towards the bottom, just to break it a little bit. Okay, I'll dry that one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry. So now I'm going to wet this bottom section. Nice even coat of water, no dry bits. And we're going to reflect the colours from the sky. So I'm going to take a nice bold bit of yellow through, rinse my brush off, dry it off, then come through with a bit of rose. Can you see how I'm doing a different stroke? I'm doing a horizontal stroke now. This is going to help give a nice surface to the water. Nice horizontal stroke. I'm going to swap down to my number 6. Come into the cerulean blue. So I've taken quite a lot of water off my brush, and I'm going to bring this through in nice thick strokes. It doesn't matter if you make a bit of green in the water, it can handle it. It is the green in the sky that's the more of the challenge. So nice little horizontal strokes, you're getting that nice effect in the water. If I just with a steady hand come along and just create a nice edge here, I'm just going to take a little bit more blue onto my brush. Just try and get a nice straight horizon line. With the blue on my brush, I'm going to dip into the rose. I get a bit of purple happening. Just bring that through. Dip into whichever colour to make the purple. The purple comes nicely through the yellow. Okay, then if I take my round number 10, I'm going to dry it off really well. So it's actually dry, and I'm going to pull down so that I get that beautiful reflection. So it's making sure your brush is totally dry and clean, and then pulling down. You're going to get that lovely light coming through. Just going to take a little bit of the burnt umber, just come underneath that land, just to give that a little bit of colour and reflection in there. And I'm actually going to take some of that burnt umber just on that top edge, I think, just to help that gives it that little bit of definition. Okay, so whilst it's still wet, I have got my bit of bank card, and I can pop in some ripples or waves in the water. So I'm using the curved edge, and I'm taking it through whilst it's wet enough to scrape, and getting these lovely light effects. If it is too wet, you'll indent the paper. So it's a bit of practice, this. If it's too dry, it won't lift at all and won't do anything. So it's using the curve of the bank card to create these lovely ripply waves. And don't be afraid to come through that light, because the waves will break through the light, and it's actually quite a nice way to break through it. You don't want it to be too solid. Can you see how I'm doing 2 at the thicker bit? So down here it'll be thicker, so you can do 2 or 3. And then as you get further away, you'll get more of a horizontal line, and it can be just straight and very fine. It's just a different way of doing those light waves and ripples. You can do a combination of light and dark. It's quite nice if you can get a few glimmers of light on that horizon line as well. Okay, I'll dry that one off. Okay, so that's nicely dry. I'm going to pick up my round number 10 and just sharpen up this bit of land. So this is the burnt umber going on. And then if I take a little bit of burnt umber and a little bit of ultramarine blue, I can make a nice grey that's not too strong, and I can come in and create some darker ripples. It's quite nice if you can use your lighter ones and get a little bit underneath and a bit further either side. So come here, then I'm going to come underneath and a bit further either side. So you've got the light of the wave coming over and the shadow underneath it. As you get further away, the more horizontal. You can have a few in between to break up the colour. Go thicker at the bottom. Go darker at the bottom. It's that same grey. Just to bold it up. Just all different techniques. I'm going to take a little bit of that grey, just a bit stronger, just onto this. I feel like I really need to bold up that little bit of land so that it sits really nicely. Just breaks up the sky and the water. And that little bit of stronger colour, just bring a little bit more of that in here, just in places on the underside of those waves. You could use Payne's Grey. If you've got Payne's Grey and you wanted to use that, you could use that. Okay, I'll dry that one off and take the tape off. And there we go. So that's a loose, bold but simple painterly effect. Now I could have come over more with more strokes from the same tones, but I quite like the subtleness of the water and that I've shown you a couple of different new techniques. And it's still quite painterly. There's still a lot of movement there. There's still a lot of definition with a thick wet in wet paint. So I want you to have a go at that one. So I shall pop the Painterly playlist here, so you've got plenty more to go at. Please do look up my Facebook group because you can pop your paintings on there and I'll give you some direct feedback. And I shall see you next time. Bye.